Hi everyone! So in this video we're going to be talking about gumption crashes and chokes. Crashes and chokes can also be done at vertical, but we mostly use them at gumption, so that's what we're going to focus on right now. So naturally for a gumption crash you're going to start at gumption, and then we will go through a prep, a crash and follow through, and then a reset. So with the prep, this is going to happen one count before you are going to play. So for this prep, you're going to use your fingers to press these cymbals towards your forearms, and that's going to cause them to come to a point. They should stay about an inch apart. So I know we talk about not moving our arms too much when we play, but for this your arms will have to come apart, and as you can see here, the cymbals will be offset a little bit bigger than an inch, and here it is from your view. So as you can see, it's not exactly a 45, but just make sure that the cymbals are hitting your arms when you prep. So the next part of it is going to be the initial touch. So this is going to be where your cymbals are going to touch together for the first time. For a gumption crash, it's going to be characterized by the front of the cymbal hitting together and then the back of the cymbal hitting together, and not just the back, which some people struggle with, so just keep that in mind. This is a pretty small detail, so just make sure you're not overthinking it once you are doing a full out crash. So the next part of the crash is going to be the crash and the extension. So this is going to be where the back part of the cymbals hit together. So you will crash and then you will extend your arm all the way out in front of you, kind of like you were doing a suck. So with this extension, you want to make sure that it's going straight out in front of you. Some people tend to have their right hand droop down or tilt up, but you want to make sure it's going completely straight out in front of you. And when you do this, your hands should not come very far apart. Again, we want to keep that 1 inch between the cymbals, so the right cymbal is hovering about 1 inch above the left. So the last part of the crash is called a reset. So this is just going to be where you pull your right hand back in to meet your left hand, so you are at set again. Ideally, this should be as fast as possible, but you want to maintain control because you don't want the cymbals to make any sound here. You still want to keep them that 1 inch apart. So here I have a gumption crash exercise for you. So this is going to be a little hard to do without cymbals, but I want you guys to get familiar with all of the different parts of a crash. So for this, you're going to flip up and you're going to prep. Hold that for 4 counts, initial touch for 4 counts, crash and follow through for 4 counts, and reset for 4 counts. And then that's going to move to every 2 counts you'll do something, and then every 1 count, and then you're going to do a couple of full out crashes. So when you play a crash, it's very important that your fingers come off the cymbal when the crash is happening. So that crash plus extension step, you need to get your fingers off the cymbals so that they can ring, and then you can put your fingers back on the cymbals when you do the reset. So next we'll talk about gumption crash chokes. So this is going to be where you play a crash and then you want to mute the sound immediately after. So this is still going to have the exact same prep. So again, you'll just be pressing the cymbals against your forearms. Just remember that this is going to happen 1 count before you need to play the crash. So the next part of this crash choke is going to be called a dead crash. So this is called a dead crash because you're not going to have any kind of extension or follow through when you play it. You're just going to prep and then hit the cymbals together.
You're good.
So even though this is a dead crash, you're still going to have the prep, initial touch, crash combo. So make sure you're getting the hit on the front of the cymbal and the back of the cymbal. So the next part is the choke. So this is how you're going to mute your cymbals. So you are going to pull them into your body and you're going to have contact with your armpits, your forearms, your fingers, and your hips. So the place where these cymbals are closest together should again only be about an inch apart. So another note with these is for this choke, you're going to pretty much slam the cymbals against your body as fast as you can while still trying to maintain all of those contact points so the crash will be muted. So the last part again is going to be a reset just like before, but it's going to be a little different because your cymbals will be on your body and you'll have to push them out from there, but you'll remain at set and you want to do this as quick as possible. So the last thing I have for you guys is a gumption crash choke exercise. So it breaks it down just like the one before it, but it's broken down into the prep, the dead crash, the choke, and the reset. So with both of these exercises, you just want to remember that everything should be instantaneous. Even if it's done every 4 counts, you still want to move with the same intensity that you would if you were doing it full out. And after the last choke, you're not going to reset, you're just going to push your arms down.